Go ahead.
All right, my people, all the way from Kenya. How are we doing today?
Oh, you're fine, you're fine.
No, I'm wondering, why is everybody's video turned off? I was expecting to see everybody's beautiful faces. What is happening? Can we turn on our video? Is it possible? Or is it a rule that nobody should turn on their video? I want to see our faces.
Yes. So a few people can turn on their video. Then, of course, because of issues of connectivity, you can turn them off. But just for Mr. Ajay to see Kenyan faces, to see how our Kenyan ladies are very beautiful.
Yes, I want to. I've been looking forward to meet, it's a beautiful day to meet Kenyans at last,
Yes.
You guys do so well in athletics, in marathon races and all of that. And you guys are just amazing. So it's an opportunity to finally meet people from Kenya. I think it's my first time talking to Kenyans, and this is
nice. Wonderful. Yes.
I'm so happy. I'm so excited to be. So yeah, I'm liking it. You guys have handsome and beautiful faces. Please show it. And that's also because I want to take a snapshot, a picture of this session. So I need our beautiful and handsome faces to be on screen.
Sure. Yeah. So we can just have our videos on for a minute so that you can take a picture. Then after that, we just turn them off because of connectivity issues.
All right. So if your video is on already, can you smile? Can you smile? Put a smile on your beautiful and handsome face, and let's have a wonderful picture. All right, we're done. All right.
Okay. Thank you. So we can just turn them on because of issues of connectivity. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Jai.
All right. So we're about to start, and first and foremost, I want to thank Mr. Eric for this privilege to interact with us this evening. Of course, it's evening also in Kenya. It's 6 p.m. right here in Nigeria. I am very grateful for this privilege to meet with all of us beautiful and handsome people, and of course the bright future of Africa. This is a passion for me. For example, like he said, I'm the founder of Emerge Africa. I'm wearing the shirt of Emerge Africa right now. My passion and my desire is to see Africans come to the recognition of the fact that even though our country or our continent is called the third world, even though I don't like it, but of course, the reason why it's called the third world is because when it comes to development, we are to an extent far behind countries like the United States of America and the like, so which is accepted. But the point is, technology and the internet also gives us a leverage in 21st century, such that you can be in any part of Africa and you can compete favorably with anybody in any part of the world. I say it with confidence because I have actually competed with people from USA, from Germany, from UK. I have done jobs and partnerships with people from all over the world. And I can say confidently that if you are excellent at what you do and you are confident in your ability to deliver, it does not matter what color you carry, it does not matter where you're from, people will listen to you. People will pay you for your services. All right. So even though we are, far behind the rest of the world when it comes to development, yet you can stay in Kenya, you can stay in Nigeria, you can stay in South Africa and compete with the rest of the world favorably. I am saying this with full confidence because I've, that has been my experience in the last 3-4 years. So it's going to be a wonderful time tonight. I am happy to do this. I'm excited. I'm ready to deliver. All right, so Eric, I will also be using some slides. I'll be using slides, so I don't know. You may want to give me
Sure. Let me have you as a co-host.
Yeah, so I can actually share my slide. But in the meantime, again, my name is Ajayi Olalikon. You tried with your pronunciation. I didn't expect you to get it that perfect, because it's not your language, it's not your tongue, but good work. Ajayi Olalikon. And if you prefer to call me by my English name, Ibia Johnson, Ibia Divine. All right. Nice to meet everybody. You've had my profile. I don't need to go over it again. So let's just try to set up my slide, and then we'll get the ball rolling.
Sorry. I gave the course to a different wrong person. Let me give it to you.
All right. As soon as I am made co-host,
Okay.
I will.
Okay. Yeah, you are now.
I'm now, okay, so let me try to share my screen. Should I share my entire screen? Okay, let's do it. There's nothing fishy on my profile. Nothing fishy. Optimize for video clips. So let's share. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
All right. Give me a moment.
Do you have a PowerPoint for it?
No, I'm using a
that's
PDF. I'm using a PDF.
Ah, okay.
Okay. No, too bad. And this is not cool.
Just go back to the document, to the PDF.
I'm trying to even close a lot of this. Okay, yeah, a lot of these things on my phone. All right. Can we make do with it like this? Can you see my screen clearly?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I think we can make do with it like this. Is it very clear? Very bold, very clear?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, then. We're good to go. So today we're looking at understanding remote work, and I gave it a sub-theme, earning from your living room. All right, so that's what remote work sounds like. We're going to look at the definition of the concept remote work very soon. So but I just summarize the definition as working and earning from your living room. All right, so you're going to see a picture to the left. That is my hand, and that is me holding some dollar notes there. I didn't get the picture from the internet. I took the picture myself. All right, so remote work, understand remote work, earning from your living room. This is an event that will mark a turning point in your life. Now, why do I think so? Because the internet changed my life, and it can change yours too. I did not used to be this kind of person wearing jacket and looking all prim and proper. I'm going to give you a little of my story in a short while. So a little about me. My name is Ajayola Divine. They call me Coach D. I am a digital entrepreneur, and I also coach people on how to start a profitable online business. Now, but I didn't start that in 2023. That's about probably 4 to 5 years back. But some 4 years back, I was very broke, very, very broke. And I was in debt. I was in debt to the tune of 6 figures. I was very broke and I was in debt. And I was working a 9-to-5 job somewhere in the city of Lagos. Of course, if you're familiar with Nigeria a little bit, you definitely know Lagos. That used to be the capital of Nigeria some time ago before it became Abuja. So I was working as a personal assistant to the director of a school. I was earning 55,000 naira, so definitely the cost of living in Lagos is very high, very expensive, and 55,000 naira cannot sustain anybody of my class. I mean, at my level, at my age. So I kept doing the same, work month over month, going to 2 years. And someday I sat myself and I told myself, I cannot continue like this. I can't continue doing a 55,000 naira job. I wake up very early, 5 a.m. Something about Lagos too. Lagos is a place where there is a lot of traffic. All right, I'm not trying to scare you. If you want to come to Nigeria, you're free to come to Nigeria. But you know, a good part of Lagos is actually always jammed up early in the morning and late in the evening when you're coming back from work. You know, so I wake up very early, you know, around 5 a.m., get dressed. I leave my house around 6 a.m. because as a personal assistant, I needed to get to the office as early as 7 a.m. And I don't close early. I close when my director closes. And sometimes it can be 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Sometimes by this time in Kenya, you know, it is around after 8, I was still at work because my director was still around. You know, but one day I woke up, I told myself, this has to stop, you know. I can't continue this cycle of life. The salary was not enough to actually, you know, sustain my lifestyle. I mean, even afford basic amenities like transport, feeding, house rent, and the likes. So I knew I needed to find something else to do. I was either gonna get another job or look for another means to make money. All right. So I resigned my job. I didn't know what next to do. I didn't even have a plan. I didn't have any money saved. That was the same year I did my master's degree too. So I spent all the salary I was collecting on my master's. So I didn't have any money saved. I didn't have any means, you know, to actually sustain or survive. But I just knew I could not continue with the life that I was living. So I resigned. Then I began to explore, how do people make money online? I began to ask myself, okay, so I see a lot of people post, I made $2,000, I made $30,000, you know, and all of those big amount of money. And I began to ask the question, how exactly do people make money online? You know, if you have never made money online before, you're almost tempted to think that it's scam. You know, people say they made XYZ money online, but like, no, it's scam, it's not possible. You know, all those people that want to, you know, defraud you. So I always felt like that until I began to ask around, you know, do my online research. How do people make money online exactly? Then I figured out that people make money online in 4 basic ways. All right, let me know if, I want to be sure you are still following me.
Yes, we can have some reactions.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are live.
Let me see in the chat box that you are still following me. All right, beautiful. Okay, so,
yeah.
All right, thank you for the feedback. All right, so thank you. I'm getting the chats and the feedback. All right, thank you for staying with me. So I found out that there are 4 basic ways you can make money online. The first of it is e-commerce. E-commerce is you're selling a physical product, but you are using the internet to sell it. So instead of just selling to people that walk into your shop, you sell wares, you sell dresses and clothes, you put it on Instagram, Facebook, or you create a website, you know, you can sell to people in different parts of, you know, the world, e-commerce. That's the first way people make money online. The second way people make money online is by selling digital products. There's something we call digital products that is actually selling things like ebooks, training materials, courses, and all of that, you know, group coaching. Those are digital products that you cannot touch, you know, so you can only consume it on the internet. So you pay the people either for a group coaching program, and the person is probably somewhere in US, and you know, you are in Kenya, and the person is training you all the way from US. That is called a digital product. So that's the second way people make money online. The third way people make money online is freelancing, which is what we're going to be zeroing in on today. Freelancing, remote work, all of them are under the same brackets. Under freelancing, you sell your skills and your services to people on the internet, and you make money from the comfort of your home. That's the third way people make money online. The fourth way is actually as an influencer, what we call influencer or affiliate marketing. All right, that almost skipped my brain. Influencer or affiliate marketing. As an influencer marketer, all you need to do is build a following on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or the likes, and then you recommend other people's products, and they pay you for it, or they pay you based on commission. The same thing with affiliate marketing too. Affiliate marketing means you have an influence, then you recommend other people's products to the people in your community or who follow you, who listen to you. And when anybody buys from the company, you get a certain percentage. So 4 basic ways people make money online. I've made money through all of these 4 means, but the one that is my strength, which we're going to talk about today, is freelancing. So I began to freelance in year 2020. I made my first money on the internet in February 2020. and I've not stopped up until now. All right. And so from a 9-to-5 professional, a personal assistant with the director earning 55,000 naira, I became somebody who sits right in my house. This is how my typical day goes. Except I have something to do outside in town, I do not leave my house. I sit in my house, I work from my house, and I make money from all over the world, right from my living room. That is the possibility that the internet has brought our way. And that was why I started, by saying that as an African in 2023, in 21st century, the internet and technology gives you a leverage. So while Africa may not be well developed, while we may still have issues with corruption, from our leaders, and we may not have all the social amenities that many of the developed countries have, but you can stay in Kenya and take a course in MIT. You can take a course, in the top universities of the world, right from Kenya, thanks to the internet. You can work for people in all the countries of the world, right from your house in Kenya, thanks to the internet. You can actually collaborate with people. How did I meet Eric? I met Eric on LinkedIn. Eric is in Kenya, I'm in Nigeria. And that networking has brought me to talk to all the Kenyans that I'm speaking to tonight. That is the possibility of the internet. So there is a lot that you can do with your mobile phone. The connection I made with Eric happened on my mobile phone. It did not happen on my personal computer. And I want to also say this, when I started out freelancing for the first year as a freelancer on the internet, I did not have a computer. I did not have a laptop. Not necessarily because at some point I could not afford it, but because I just prefer to work on my phone. I'm somebody who does this slide you're looking at right now that I'm using for this program. I designed it on my phone. All right. I'm simply saying that not having a personal computer cannot be your excuse. All right. You can actually do you can do freelancing or remote work to a certain extent with your mobile phone. Now, I'm saying at some point you will definitely need to get a personal computer. But I'm saying if all that you have right now is a mobile phone, it can still be a good start. You can still be able to make some money with it until you're able to raise money to get a personal computer. All right, so I started out freelancing with my mobile phone. All the thousands of dollars I made in my first year as a freelancer, I made it using a Techno mobile phone. All right, so the internet changed my life. It can change yours too. Today, it's 4 years after. I am no longer in debt. I have peace of mind. I walk whenever I want to walk. I can travel wherever I want to travel to. After meeting Eric and we started planning for this program, I was already thinking maybe sometimes this year I might just actually be in Kenya in person and be able to meet all of your beautiful faces, right in person, and that's going to be beautiful.
You're welcome.
All right, I look forward to that. It's a possibility, and I'll think about it later. All right, so definition of concept. Remote work is the practice of employees doing their jobs from a location other than a central office operated by the employer. So with remote work, you do not need to wake up in the morning like I was waking up some years back, very early around 5 a.m. and rushing to the office. You can actually be in your living room and be working. And one of the beautiful things that happened from the COVID-19, in 2019, 2020, up till now, is that many companies all over the world are beginning to embrace remote work. So remote work has become something very popular today, especially due to the pandemic. Some companies really have not fully embraced remote work. Some of them do hybrid. Hybrid is when probably 50% remote work, then maybe Monday and Tuesday, or Monday and Wednesday or Friday, then you go to work physically. So you do some remotely, you do some in person. So there are 3 levels of job now. There is the physical or on-site jobs. There is hybrid, which is a combination of remote work and physical. And there are jobs that are purely remote. So let me also say this, in the last 3 years, which is 2020 up until 2023, I have never worked for a client based in Nigeria. All the clients that I've worked for have been either in US, Canada, or some other parts of the United Kingdom. So that is the definition of remote work, where you can stay anywhere in the world and you can work for anybody in other parts of the world without having to show up physically. So as a remote worker also, you can work full-time or as a freelancer. Full-time means that there are some companies that will employ you. It is a remote work, but they will give you a resumption time, 9 to 5, for example, 9 to 5. So you need to wake up, you know, right in Kenya. You're going to wake up right in Kenya, get dressed, and you're going to resume like you are resuming a physical office, but you are not going to the physical office. You're going to be in your house, but between the hours of 9 to 5, the company expects you to be working for them. They do not expect you to be doing any other thing. So that is a full-time remote work. There are also part-time remote work or where you can totally freelance. In that case, the company employs you and they say you work for them maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, or they don't even give you any time frame at all. All you need to do is they give you a job. You are left, it is to your discretion when you choose to start, when you choose to finish it. But they can give you a job and say, this job should be submitted in the next 7 days. So it is now left to you to determine whether you want to do the job on a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. But before 7 days ultimatum, you must have completed the job. You can then, sometimes I decide, I write, basically, I'm a professional SEO writer. So sometimes I have an article to write. Maybe I do not have so much job. I can decide to, if an article is 3,000 words, I can decide to write 500 words every day. So I just write 500 words on Monday, then I go and do something. I go to do something else. On Tuesday, I write another 500 words. I just do it bit by bit like that. Then on the 6th day, the article is ready. I send it to the client and I get my money. All right, so that's basically what remote work is all about. So we're going to get into the, this is why you came, you know. It's not about definition of remote work. You want to really know how exactly can you actually be a remote worker? What do you need to know? How do you start? So building a successful remote online business, what are the basic steps? You know, what Eric said I should talk about is, you know, the power of the internet to actually help you to sit in Kenya and then work for people in America, in UK and all that. So what are the basic steps that I've been able to put together from my own personal experience, you know, from how I built, how I went from 9 to 5, a broke and an in-depth 9 to 5 worker to a big and a 7-figure freelancer. All right, beautiful. So what exactly are the steps that I took? But before we get into the steps, I want to open your eyes to something. The internet is perhaps the best way to earn money today. And you know, the space is not a respecter of age, color, or ethnicity. Let me take that again. The internet is perhaps the best way to earn money today, and the internet space is not a respecter of age, color, ethnicity, and sometimes education. Some other person can feel like, oh, I am not a graduate. There are a lot of remote jobs on the internet that they don't care about which school you went to, what degree do you have. What they are concerned about is, can you deliver? If you say you're a graphics designer, can you design some beautiful graphics? We don't care whether you went to the University of Nairobi or you went to the University of Lagos. What we care about is what can you do? All right, so once you have a value that you offer to a defined market segment, that is how you make money on the internet. And we're going to look at that briefly. You know, but the beautiful part of this new way of making money is that in most cases, you don't even need a capital to start. I did not have a startup capital. Let me tell you how I started freelancing. I started with a website, even though if you want to start freelancing today, you don't need a website. You know, as you progress and as you grow, as you build your, your freelance career or your remote work career into a big business, then you can actually decide to build yourself a beautiful website. But for a start, you don't need a website. But I started with a website and I was so broke that I did not have money to pay a web designer. All I needed to do was I went on YouTube, I took a tutorial that is about 3 hours, and I built my website myself. I was so broke that the only way I could actually get a website was to build it myself. And I started. I used my mobile phone up until 2022. Listen again, I started freelancing in 2020. I did not get a personal computer until 2022, last year. Not because I didn't have the money, but because I prefer to work on my mobile device. The only thing I do on my laptop today is probably something that I cannot get done faster on my mobile phone, like video editing. Let me also shock you, I have a YouTube page, you know. My videos for my YouTube page, I do not edit them on my personal computer. I edit them on my mobile phone. I use InShot. I started the YouTube 1 year ago. Up till now, I have not used any other thing to edit videos than my mobile device. So like I was saying, you necessarily do not need a startup capital. If you have an internet connection, which I know you have, that's why you're on this call, you know, all you need to do is have a mobile device, which can be your personal computer or your mobile phone, or the two of them together. You need data. And what else do you need? You need power supply, all right? You need power supply to always have your gadgets charged, because sometimes your clients want to have a meeting with you. Sometimes you need, you know, power to actually do the job and deliver the job. So those are the three basic things you need. You need a mobile device, which can be your laptop, your computer, or your mobile phone for a start. You need internet connection, and then you need regular power supply. But you do not need any other capital aside that to start remote work. So whether offline or online, business follows the same principle. You know, when we're in primary school, secondary school, I don't know what it's called in your place. Americans call it high school, college, and all that. You know, whatever it's called. When we're in the elementary school, one of the things we're taught is that money is a medium of value exchange. So what does it mean? It means we use money to confer value on something, and also we use money to exchange value. For example, let's assume that this training is a paid training and you want to join in from Kenya. What will you do? You're going to pay, let's say $5. That's an example. You're going to pay $5 for the training, and I'm going to sit here today, this evening, and I'm going to be training you. I make $5, but you get everything that I know from my years of experience as a freelancer. What has happened? Value has exchanged hands. You parted with your money, I parted with my knowledge and my experience. That is money. So what does that teach you? The way to make money is to actually think of a value that you can create for other people. The moment you can create value for people, life and nature compels them to part with their money. Again, I'm going to say it again. If you want to make money in life, the question you need to ask yourself is, what value can you offer? Because value commands money. So once you can define a value you can create for me, you compel me to put my hands in my wallet or go to my bank account and give you money because you have given me value in return. That is the simple definition of money. So the question that everybody needs to answer after this, you know, training, and always at all times, is what value are you bringing to people? So when it comes to remote work and making money online, the first question you need to ask yourself is, what value can you bring to people on the internet? What value can you sell to people? Your customers are everywhere, in US, in UK, in Germany, in Australia. But the point is, they are looking for something. They have problems they want to solve. They have needs they want to be met. You in Kenya, are you well positioned? Do you have the skills and the qualification and the experience to meet their needs, to solve their problems? That is the value that you're bringing to the internet. Once you can define that, you have solved 80% of the equation to begin to make money on the internet. Now, let me open your eye to this. What is the potential of the online industry? The global digital transformation market size. Oh, I thought I changed it. This was supposed to be 2022, not 2021. So how much was spent on the internet in 2022 when it comes to freelance, remote work, and the likes? How much was spent in the industry in 2022? 1.79 trillion US dollars. 1.79 trillion United States dollars. And it's expected that by 2029, that figure would have reached 6.78 trillion. So I'm going to ask you a question. How much of this do you think, if you make, you will live a very comfortable life? I want to see it in the chat. Type it in the chat. How much of this can you make and you're going to have the kind of life you're dreaming of? Let me tell you how much I made in 2021 and 2022. At least I made $15,000 out of this 1.79 trillion. And as a Nigerian, currently in the black market, $1 changes for 750 naira. So it means if I make $1,000, that is 750,000 naira in Nigeria. If I make $2,000, that is 1.5 million in Nigeria. So if you make $10,000 as a Nigerian in 2023, that is 7.5 million naira. So I'm asking you again, let me see in the chat box. I want to know if you're following me. How much of this 1.79 trillion can you make? And your life is going to change. How much? How much of it? Let's talk in the chat box. I want to see. Yeah, somebody said the only way to make money on the internet is to create value. Absolutely. Oh, I like that. $1 million. All right. That's some big dreams. 5,000 US dollars. I love that. Give me more, give me more, give me more. I want to know that you're following me and you're together with me. 10% of 1.69 trillion. That's a lot of money. 20,000 US dollars. All right, all right. Who else? 30,000 US dollars. And absolutely all of these figures are possible. For example, you can get a remote job that pays you 36,000 US dollars per annum. That's like $3,000 per month. You can get a remote job that pays you 70,000 US dollars per year. All of these are possible. 50,000 US dollars, 20,000 US dollars. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for responding. So this is, the industry is huge. There is a lot of money in the industry flying around on the internet, going from US to Nigeria to South Africa to Kenya. I know that, you know, the freelance and the remote work industry in Kenya is also growing. I saw that while I was trying to prepare for this. You know, so this is beautiful. All of us are just trying to look for ways that you can also tap into this, you know, money markets. So there is about 1.79 trillion US dollars moved on the internet in 2022, and it went to different locations. And some part of it came to my house in Nigeria. All right. You know, I made some part of that 1.79 trillion in 2022. And so in 2023, you also can take your own part, you know, of this money that is flying on the internet if you learn exactly how to go about it. So let's dive into the steps. 4 basic things that you need to do to earn a living online. You know, I've mentioned the things you need for remote work. You need a mobile device, that's a phone, a laptop, a personal, you know, a personal computer. You need data, that's internet connection, and of course you need power supply. Okay, so that said, what are the basic things that you also need to earn a living online? The first one, you need a skill that is tied to a service. And you know, there are several skills that we can talk about under this. There's graphics design, there is web design, there's freelance writing, video editing, photo editing, content creation. You can be social media marketing, whether you can run ads on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google, and the likes. And so the first thing you need to work remotely is that you must define what skill do you want to sell? What skill are you bringing to the market? What value can you create? So again, the 4 basic things you need to earn a living online. The first one, skill. A skill that is tied around a service. That is the first thing. And the beautiful part is all these skills can be learned online. How did I start, you know, my journey into digital marketing? I learned from Google. My first training was on Google. The second place I learned digital marketing was on LinkedIn. There's a platform called LinkedIn Learning. If you're on LinkedIn, there's something we call LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning is an education platform that LinkedIn has curated from top content creators. You can actually get on LinkedIn and learn any course. I told you also earlier that I designed my first website in 2020 by myself by watching a video, a tutorial video on YouTube. You know, so many people go to YouTube and they go to watch movies or watch comedy skits and the likes, but you will not know that there are several training and impactful videos on YouTube if you know how to search them out. So I took a training on YouTube, 3 hours training. I watched the training and I designed my website myself. So whatever skill you want to pick today, you can go on YouTube and you can find training videos that people have created free and you can learn from there. I also have a YouTube platform. I'm going to share with you before I'm done. I have a lot of video trainings on the platform and it's absolutely free. LinkedIn Learning, you can learn on LinkedIn Learning. There's Skillshare, there is Udemy. There's a platform called Udemy. Even though most of their courses are paid for, probably $9.99, you can actually take any course and you will be certified, you know, from those platforms. So the first thing you need to work remotely to earn a living on the internet is a skill. That's number one. So, you know, these are some of the skills and services that you can, you know, sell on the internet: data analysis, voiceover, SEO, social media marketing, email marketing, Facebook advertising, graphic design, web development, copywriting, and the likes. So these are skills that you can actually sell on the internet. Then the second thing you would need is a solid portfolio. All right, a solid portfolio. A solid portfolio. You know, in physical work, when you want to apply for a job, for example, they're going to ask you to send your resume, to send your CV. So what they want to see in your CV is, who have you worked for before? What are your educational qualifications? Also, because in remote work, the person you want to work for cannot see you in person. So the first question they will ask you is to send them your portfolio. And what is a portfolio? A portfolio is a collection of all the jobs that you have done before using that skill. For example, if you say you are a graphics designer, you will take some of the designs that you have done for other clients before and put them together in a portfolio. So when a client says, I need your portfolio, you copy the link to your portfolio and send it to the person. The person clicks the link and he can see all the work you have done before. Now, because the only way they can, they can ascertain whether you can do the job is when you show them samples of what you have done before. So I often tell people you need a very solid portfolio. If, for example, you have done 100 works, you may not need to put all the 100 works in the portfolio. Just look for the best of those work, the ones that are very convincing. So when your prospective client says, oh, okay, I need your portfolio, even if it is just 10 works, but it must be the best of your work. What are you trying to do? You're trying to convince them that you are the right person for the job. And they want to see the kind of job you've done before so that they can see your philosophy and how you do your work, how creative you are with your graphics designing. And so when they see all the work you've done before, they can be convinced that they should give you the job. So like I said, once you have picked the skill, the first thing is what? You need a skill. What you are selling on the internet in remote work is your skill and your service. So if you don't have a skill or you don't have a service now that you can sell, all you need to do is go on the platforms that I've mentioned and go and pick a skill. And you know, there's also something we call high-paying skill or in-demand skill. So not every skill you have can be sold on the internet. There are some skills that are in demand, some skills that are not in demand. There are also some skills that people pay $5 for, while there are other skills that people pay $20 for. So you also want to go and pick a skill that is high-paying and that is in demand. But haven't gotten the skill that you want to actually sell, the next thing is to build a solid portfolio, a collection of the work you have done before. And sometimes it may not be paid work. If, for example, you want to build a portfolio, you can volunteer. You can, if you're a graphic designer, volunteer for maybe 3 people in the 4BM community to design graphics for them free of charge, so that you can have work that you can go and put in your portfolio and you can send to your prospective clients. So once you have picked the skill you want to explore and you have learned it, your next goal is to create a very strong portfolio. Your early stage as a remote worker or a freelancer may not be about making money. And that's why I said you may need to volunteer. You may need to do free work for people just to collect a portfolio. So once you have your portfolio, then you can go all out and begin to charge people. And also when you start, you know, as a newbie, as a new person, clients and customers may not be too confident or too interested in paying you so much money. For example, the first article that I wrote as a freelancer, I charged $15 per hour. But today, I have written articles of $100 per hour. As a matter of fact, I wrote an article for a client in 2022. I used 4 hours on the article and I charged $500. That is $125 per hour. I've done jobs of $35 per hour, $50 per hour. But when I started, my first job was a $15 per hour job. Some people have to take a $5 per hour, $3 per hour. So that's for a start. When you begin to build your experience and your years of experience and your portfolio, and you begin to work for 3, 4, 5 people, then you can raise the bar. You can begin to charge more. All right. So your early stage may not be about making money, but developing a very solid portfolio. So that's the second thing you need to work remotely. Number 3, now that you have identified your skill, now that you have built a portfolio, the next thing we'll be talking about is platform, marketplaces. Platform, marketplaces. All right. For example, in physical work, or if it's a physical business, there's always a building where employees gather together. Or for example, if you're a trader, you need to go to a physical market, display your goods, and people come to the market to buy from you. But because this is remote work and it's on the internet, there are certain marketplaces that have been developed by some other companies where people like you and I can bring our skill and come and connect with clients. So the third thing that you need to look at is platform. And I'm going to list probably the top 5 platforms, or maybe top 8. There are a lot of platforms. There are over 100, over 200 platforms where you can actually sell your skills and service. But the very popular ones, number 1, we're going to have Upwork. Upwork is the most popular freelancer platform in the world today. Number 2, there is Fiverr. Number 3, there is TopTal. There is freelancer.com. There is freelancewriting.com. This freelancewriting.com is for writers. There is 99 Designs. 99 Designs is specially for designers, web designers and graphic designers majorly. So there are platforms that are, dedicated to certain skill, and there are general platforms. Upwork is a general platform. Okay, I must not forget also to mention LinkedIn. LinkedIn is also a marketplace. Many people do not know. For example, in 2022, I had not less than 5 clients on LinkedIn, and I make thousands of dollars. Converted to Naira, I made millions on LinkedIn last year. And I've started making money on LinkedIn in 2023. So you can also connect with employers on LinkedIn. And you can work from Kenya for an employer in America. If you check my profile on LinkedIn, I have probably, you're going to see about 6 to 7 current employers that I'm working with, and none of them is actually based in Nigeria. All right. So LinkedIn is also a platform where you can also sell your skills and services. All right. But I have an academy where I teach people freelancing, and the only 2 platforms that we teach them is how to use LinkedIn and how to use Upwork. All right. Those are the 2 platforms that we teach. One, because those are the platforms that has worked for me. And so I am more comfortable teaching what has worked for me than teaching, theory, things that I've not done or that I've not used before. But I mentioned a few already. There are a lot of them. You can go on Google and type freelance marketplaces, and you're going to see a lot. And the truth of the matter also is that, for example, LinkedIn might work for person A, may not work for person B. It may be Upwork that works for the other person. So, you just need to try your hands on a few platforms and see which one works for you. When I started freelancing, I started working on freelancer.com. That was where I started working. Then I moved to freelancewriting.com. And now I moved to LinkedIn, and then now Upwork. All right. So there are a lot of platforms. LinkedIn and Upwork is my special platforms. I have a video also on my YouTube where I teach you how to optimize your LinkedIn. It's actually a free video. It's about 20 minutes. I'm going to share the link to my YouTube at the end so that you can actually go watch it. If you're on LinkedIn, for example, already, and you want to know how to use LinkedIn to actually get remote work, that video is going to be very useful for you. So again, what are the 4 basic things we're looking at if you want to work remotely? Number 1, you need a skill. That is what you're going to be selling on the internet, creating value for people. Number 2, you need a very strong portfolio, a collection of all the works you have done before to convince the prospective clients that you are the right candidate for the job. Number 3, you need to find a platform where you will create your profile and you will be visible to the world. Upwork, for example, there are freelancers and employers there. If you create your profile on Upwork, there are people posting jobs every day on Upwork. All you need to do is find a job that you can do and send a proposal to the person, and they will consider you among other people. If your portfolio is solid enough and your cover letter, that's your proposal, is also very solid, you can actually get the job ahead of other people. The competition is real, but you also need to learn how to position yourself, brand yourself, so that you can actually get the job ahead of other people. All right. So that said, then what is the fourth thing? The fourth very crucial and critical thing you need to survive and to succeed as a freelancer on the internet is branding. Branding. Several people do not know that branding is key. How you show up in the face of people is very important. For platforms like LinkedIn, for example, LinkedIn is a professional platform. It's not like Facebook. Facebook is more or less a place where you connect with your old schoolmates, with your classmates, with your friends and all that, with your families. But LinkedIn is a professional platform. For example, if you're going to have a profile on LinkedIn, you should look corporate. You should have a profile picture where you are dressed either corporately or semi-corporate. You cannot just put on any clothes and just take a picture and put it on LinkedIn. Anybody that comes to your profile would not take you serious. For example, I met a client in 2022, and one of the things he mentioned after we talked for a while was that he loved my jackets, my blazers. Of course, I've changed my profile picture now. I used a very casual, a very semi-formal one now. But my previous picture was me dressed in a blazers, looking prim and proper. All right, so you need to look sharp on the internet. You need to also post things that makes it look like you're an authority in your field, that convinces people that you are somebody that they can work with. You can't just show up anyhow. Are we together? If you are following me, let me see your response in the chat. Give me any emoji. Give me a thumbs up. I want to see in the chat, are people still following? Let me see. I want to be sure that I'm not talking to myself. All right, go to the comment section. Let me see that you are following and you are getting value. An emoji. Yes, following. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. All right. I'm glad that we are following. Thank you. Okay, so branding. I said the totality of your effort to position yourself as XYZ, as a graphics designer, as a freelance writer, or whatever it is, and attract people to the value that you offer. Now, let me ask the ladies in the room. If you're a lady and you're watching this video, this is on the lighter mode. If you're a lady, this question is just for, let's make it for ladies and guys. Go to the comment section. If you're a guy, what is the first thing you see in a lady that attracts you? And if you're a lady, what is the first thing you see in a guy that attracts you? Let's play around. Type something for me in the comment section. I want to see. Okay, Anna Akajo, if I'm wrong about the name, please forgive me. She said dressing. Nancy, sharpness. Okay. Any other person? Shoes. All right, beautiful. Outward appearance, confidence. As a lady, the hairstyle. Okay. Somebody say yes. All right. Dressing, politeness, intelligence. That's fine. You might like the back side, you might like the front side. That's also fine. If that's what attracts you, that's fine. All right. Character, well-grown, beautiful. That's enough. All right. So what does that mean? It means if you see somebody else, if, for example, you like somebody that is well-dressed, if you see a guy that is dressed shabbily, the tendency is you will not like him. Even if he wants to approach you, in fact, before he gets close, you're already giving him signals that he should not embarrass himself. That is the power of branding. There is a way you can appear. If a lady likes a guy that dresses well, all I need to do is dress well and she will be attracted to me. Do you understand? So when you come on the internet too, how you show up matters a lot. How you show up, the things you say, the things you write, the pictures you post, the pages you visit, the people you like, shows me, whether you're a person that I can give a job. So branding is the totality of everything you do to position yourself. So if a lady likes a person that dresses well, if you want to position yourself to win at, what do you need to do? Dress well, wear a very beautiful perfume, and approach her, and she will give you audience. But if you dress shabbily, she will not even listen to you. You might be the right person for her, but because your appearance and everything does not work for you, she will not vibe with you. So a client you might actually be the best person for the job, but if your branding is not on point, the client may not be convinced that you are good for the job. So thriving on LinkedIn, on Upwork, on Fiverr, on freelance writing is all about building a solid personal brand. And part of this branding element is how you show up. This includes what you put on your portfolio. Like I said earlier, a very strong portfolio, the kind of jobs you put on your portfolio must speak good of you. Then the experience. If, for example, you want to position yourself on LinkedIn, then you need to put your experiences. Which companies have you worked for before? Do you have certifications? If, for example, you want to position yourself as a data analyst, do you have certification that you can also put on your profile so that people who want to employ you can know that you have also learned a lot about the subject? And what are the contents that you put out? How did Eric find me and invite me for this program? It is because of the content that I put out. All right, we connected with each other based on the content that I put out. So that is part of your branding. So again, the 4 basic things you need to start and be successful on the internet as a remote worker. Number 1, a skill or a service you can render. Number 2, a very strong portfolio, a collection of the works you have done in the past. Number 3, you need to identify a marketplace where you will concentrate your energy and build your brand. Number 4, you need to take your branding very seriously. All right, so what's the formula? Skill plus portfolio plus marketplace or platform is equals to money. Find a skill, build a portfolio, identify a marketplace, brand yourself very well, and you are already set up to make a lot of money from the internet. Those are the principles that has worked for me, and it has worked for a lot of freelancers, and it will definitely work for you. So what are the action steps? You know, for every training I hold, I always like to leave you with action steps. What should you do from this training to make all of the information I've shared, to make them useful for you? Number 1, do a self-evaluation. One of the questions I asked myself in 2020 is, Ajayi Olalekon, what skills do you have and what value can you create? So I listed all the skills that I had as at 2020. Let me give you some of them. I actually know I'm very good in email marketing. I'm good in Facebook and Instagram advertising. I'm good in social media management. I'm good in content writing. I'm good in graphics design. I'm good in consulting. I have at least about 10 to 20 skills. So I listed all of them. Then I asked myself, which of them is your strongest point? Which of them can you do so well? Which of them that is it that if they wake you up now and say, come and use this skill, you can use it, you know, in a jiffy? Writing was it for me. So I told myself, let's go to the internet and sell my writing skills. So evaluate yourself, ask yourself, what value can you offer? What skills do you have? As a matter of fact, let's use the chat box again. Go to the chat. Type in the chat, what skill do you have? Let me see you now. Let me see you now. What skill do you have that you can sell? Type in the comment section. I want to see what skill do you have. Teaching, beautiful. You can actually be selling digital courses. Like I mentioned earlier, teaching people and training people, possible. Writing, beautiful. Consulting, writing, those are skills. SEO, good. Computer skills, coding, good. Network design and management, sales and marketing, beautiful. Customer service, beautiful. As a customer service, you can work as a virtual assistant. So there's agricultural consulting, beautiful. Teaching, can I get more? What skill do you have? Teaching, beautiful. Beautiful. Food technologist, beautiful. Sales, beautiful. Who else? Fundraising, transcription, beautiful. Finance and accounting, beautiful. All right, thank you so much. Financial advisory, ICT, data analysis, awesome. So evaluate yourself, write all the skills that you have, write them down. When we're done with this training, take a paper, take a book, write all the skills that you have, write them down. Then ask yourself, rate yourself over 10 in all of the skills. The one with the highest score, that is the one you want to probably begin to sell. And of course, like I said earlier, you want to also go on the internet and check if that skill is in demand. If the skill is not in demand, don't waste your time. What does it mean to be in demand? It means that there are people on the internet that are ready to buy. ready to pay for that skill. If there are no people ready to pay for the skill, then don't waste your time. You may need to just look for another skill on the list that people are ready to pay. For example, now if you're a writer, it's a high on-demand skill. Writing is also a high-paying skill. I told you earlier, I wrote an article for $500. I have friends who write articles for $1,500, just one article. So that's a in-demand skill and a high-paying skill. So that's your first task. Number two, what other skills and competencies do you need to develop so that you can be able to market yourself? For example, you may need to learn about marketing. You may need to learn how to write and speak. For example, if you want to position yourself on LinkedIn as an example, you may need to write content once in a while. And so you need to learn how to write. You also may need to learn how to speak, because as a remote worker, sometimes you will apply for a job and your potential clients may want to conduct an interview. Of course, it's going to be on the internet. It's going to be probably on Zoom or some other platform, but they want to talk to you. They want to ask you questions, and you must be able to speak and sell yourself in a convincing way. So just the same way you go for a physical interview, sometimes you may need to do an online interview with a prospective client. So you need to also develop your writing and your speaking skill. Then once you have identified your skill, you're also learning and developing your competencies. The next thing is to what? To build a portfolio. To build a portfolio, to brand yourself and to position yourself on Upwork, on LinkedIn, on Fiverr, on TopTal, on 99 Design, remote.co, people per hour. I can keep mentioning. So you need to find a marketplace to position yourself. So these are the action steps you want to take from this place. Evaluate yourself, list the skills that you have currently, then rate yourself. Which of the skills can you do very well, that you do exceptionally? Number two, you also need to develop some basic skills, writing, talking, and you need to also find a platform where you can put yourself and you can begin to excel. For example, if you're interested in positioning yourself on LinkedIn, I'm going to share with you my YouTube page. Go there. There is a training on LinkedIn, how you can optimize your LinkedIn profile and you can get clients on LinkedIn. All right. So that's about that. What's next on my slide? We have come to the end of the information that I wanted to share with you. And I'm saying thank you. Love and light. All right, so you can follow me on Facebook, Ajayi Olalekon, LinkedIn, Ajayi Olalekon, YouTube, The Optimal Edge. Eric, can I actually copy the links to the profile and put it in the chat box? Let me know. If I have your permission, I'll do that.
Yes. Kindly do that. Actually, I'd already posted your profile for LinkedIn, but just put the profile so that they can follow you.
Okay, beautiful. And you can ask me questions there too. I'll be willing to listen and to attend them.
Yes. So, guys, if you got a question, you can just unmute and ask. If you're not able to unmute, if
you have a question, yes, let's get to it.
Yes, or you can use the chat. Yes, Vinik.
Yeah, I'm Vinik from Kenya.
Yes.
Hi, Vinik.
How if in any case he comes across these jobs of copy pasting, at least he can share so that we see on how we can work on them. And then the next thing, if in any case we can come up with a WhatsApp group that can be helping each other on job posting.
All right, I want to thank Eric. I think you have a community where that happens already. True or true?
Yeah, sure. We do. So what I'll ask Mr. Jai, probably maybe if good opportunities, you can always share with me, then I share with them.
Definitely. I'll gladly do that if there are opportunities like that.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, somebody's asking, can a banker work remotely?
Can a banker work remotely? Definitely. Okay, but what you need to think about is you have banking experience already, and there are companies, for example, I said this in 2020 and I said it afterwards. In 2020, where there was the pandemic, several companies sacked or retrenched their staff. For example, some companies had to lay off their accounting staff and the likes. But what's the point? Every company needs an accountant. True or false? Yes. So even if you sack your accountant because you could not afford to pay him, you will still need to have somebody doing your accounts for you. So what did most of the companies did? They sacked the person working for them full-time as an accountant. Then they went to the internet, to Upwork and the likes, to go and hire somebody who will work for them as a freelancer. What is the idea? The idea is, if we hire this person as a freelancer, we don't have to pay as much as we pay a full-time employee. So we are going to pay them on project basis. So you can also package your experience and expertise, your accounting expertise, if that is what you do in the bank, you can package that in your resume, your CV, and go position yourself on the internet. So a person loses his job as an accountant, then he goes to Fiverr or he goes to Upwork and go and build himself as somebody that renders accounting services. Men, and some companies come and they hire you. So you can also sell what you have gained as an experience, you know, as a banker. You know, you can sell that as a skill on the internet. Definitely you can.
Somebody is also asking, let me just get it. How can I start the online work if I have nutrition, knowledge, and writing skills?
And writing skills, where do I begin from? If you have nutrition knowledge, like I said earlier, one of the things you can do is to do a research and see if there are people on the internet who need your nutrition knowledge. So one of the ways you can make money on the internet may not be remote work. For your nutrition knowledge, it may not be remote work. It may be digital products. You can write an ebook on nutrition and people can buy from you. You can also look for issues and areas where people in Kenya, for example, have problem with nutrition. It can be children nutrition, and you can create a course that is just for mothers so that they can learn how to actually handle the nutrition of their children. I'm just giving you an example. You can think about all of this later. So you can create a training or a course later, you know, on how to handle nutrition for children under 1 year old, you know, something like that. So you can actually sell your nutrition knowledge definitely as a digital product by writing ebooks, converting it to ebook, or actually having video courses and trainings. But for your writing skill, writing is selling. That is constant. You also just need to ask yourself, what kind of writing are people willing to pay for? All right. So you may not have much market if you want to be a nutrition writer. So what do you need to do? You need to expand. You need to expand and try your hands on creative writing. Try your hands on copywriting. You may want to just take a few courses to brush up yourself so that you can be able to do creative writing. So those are the aspects of writing that sells. But the fact that you can write naturally has already equipped you for success. All you need to do is to look for, there are different kinds of writing. I have a document on that, at least 40 kinds of writing. There's resume writing, there's CV writing, there's business writing, there's just a lot of, there's copywriting, there's a lot of writing. So which of the types of writing is in demand? Copywriting is in demand, creative writing is in demand. So if you cannot do any of that now, all you need to do is just learn how to do them, expand, stretch yourself, take the trainings, learn how to do them, and then you can begin to make money from your writing skill. I'm trying to look at the chat and look for another question.
There's one. Why is it hard for a newer freelancer to get bids approved in Upwork?
Well, it is because there are millions of freelancers on Upwork. The last time I checked, there are more than 3 million freelancers on Upwork. And if you are just newly coming on Upwork, you also need to understand that there have been people on Upwork since 5 years ago, since 8 years ago, and those people have worked for several clients and they already have a lot of what, you know. Also on Upwork, there's something they call review, where the clients you have worked before will give you 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star, and they will write something about your work. So there are people on the platform too who have worked for 100 clients and they have very good review. If you are competing with such a person, man, it's just normal. If I want to employ somebody to do graphic design for me, and you are new on the platform, and this other person has been there for 5 years and there are plenty good reviews, who do you think I will give the job to? This other person that has plenty review. All right. So that's why it's always a little bit difficult, but there are still certain things that you can actually do to still be able to compete. One of the things you will need to learn on Upwork, for example, is if you are starting out, you cannot be charging big money. You cannot be saying you just joined Upwork today and you are charging $20 per hour. The fact that you do not have so much experience will make it difficult for anybody to pay you that amount of money. So you may need to bring your price down so that you can get your first client. Once you get your first client and you do your job very well, they will give you a good review. So when the next person comes and sees that, oh, you have worked for your clients before and they have something good to say about you, it boosts their confidence to be able to work for you. One of the things you also need is a solid portfolio. If you want to thrive on Upwork, you need a solid portfolio. I've mentioned all of that before. You also need to, we need to also see whether your proposals are solid. There's also a skill and a good way to write proposal that can be convincing. For example, I can call two people to come for an interview and I interview them separately. One person might convince me, the other person may not convince me. And the person that did not convince me may be the best candidate for the job. It's possible. The person can do the job, but he cannot sell himself. I ask questions, the person is stammering, the person is not confident, the person cannot put words together to explain why I should employ them. I might just end up employing the other person. So the same thing on Upwork too. 100 people might send proposal for a job. It's the best proposal that catches the attention of the client. So there are a lot of sides to it. But again, like I said, the competition is very serious. And so you need to find a way. So since years of experience is not on your side, you're a newcomer, you need to find other advantages that can work for you. And I've mentioned 2 or 3 of them already. Next question. I saw one now. How does one make the portfolio? I mean, put the works together. Okay, there are platforms that you can actually use to create your portfolio free of charge. If you're a designer, for example, web designer, graphic designer, there's Behance, BEHANCE.com, where you can actually put the collection of the work you have done before. There is Contently.com. Contently is basically for writers, content writers, copywriters. So you can put your, your write-ups and your articles on Contently. If you're a graphic designer, for example, you can use Google Docs. You can curate your designs and put them on Google Doc. And once a person asks for your portfolio, copy the link to your designs and send it to the person. All right, so that's a few. You can just get on Google and type portfolio platforms, free portfolio platforms, and you're going to get a lot of them. They are free. If you're a writer, for example, Medium can be your portfolio platform. Just keep writing articles on Medium. And once the person asks you for your portfolio, copy the link to your Medium profile and send it to them. That's another kind of platform for your portfolio. Next question. There are a lot of questions now, so I'm just trying. Okay, let me look at this one. Which sites can one use to sell coursework or ebooks? I like that. If you're in Africa, there are a few platforms that I can recommend. I think the best of them, or the one that is thriving most now, is Seller.co. Seller.co, yes, Seller.co. Seller.co. I use Seller.co for my courses too. For example, my training on Upwork and LinkedIn, my freelancer training, is hosted on Seller. So Seller has a platform where people can pay from different parts of Africa. They allow Naira, I think they allow your Kenyan, is it Kenyan shilling or something? I'm not too sure. You can pay with Ghana cedis, you can pay with dollars. So they allow for a few currencies like that. So you can actually host your ebook or your coursework on Seller.co. Yes, I recommend Seller. I use Seller, so you can use that. Any other question? I have customer service and content center experience. Just joined Upwork recently. What should I include in my portfolio? Okay, so first and foremost, if you have customer service and contact center experience, you can work definitely as a customer service representative. So what you need to include on your, is this question about Upwork? For example, if it's on LinkedIn, for example, LinkedIn allows you to put your CV and your resume. So you can actually build your CV and your resume and actually put it on LinkedIn. But this person is asking for Upwork. Usually, one of the things you can do is if you're on Upwork, for example, and some of the clients you have worked for before, they may not be on Upwork, that's fine. Upwork has a feature that allows you to send a mail from Upwork. You're going to send it from the platform to somebody you have worked for before. And the person can use the link to your profile, click the link, and come to your Upwork profile and write a review for you. And write a review for you that you have worked for them before and you were exceptional and the likes and the likes. That's actually possible on Upwork. And of course, in your summary too, you need to write your summary in such a way that it is captivating and, you know, very compelling. All right, that's for Upwork. Any other question?
Maybe Mr. Jai, you can take 2. Then I'll advise they follow you on your social media pages. Yeah, then of course, actually on LinkedIn, I see you post a lot of stuff, and some of the things that you post on LinkedIn answer some of the questions that they have. So you can just project again your social media pages or how they can follow you, so that.
Okay, I'm trying to. Let me stop sharing now.
Yes.
I want to stop sharing. Okay, beautiful.
Then you can also share with us the presentation, so that I'll share with them. I think it has your pages too.
I will copy that on I'll send the PDF to you.
Yes.
On WhatsApp. Then you can pick it up from there and send to your community. Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay,
yes.
I'll just copy my profile now, my YouTube page and all that, and paste it now, and then we can pick it up from there.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, so probably the last 2 that you can take, one of them is this. Somebody is saying if they can get audit, tax, or accounting remote jobs, where they can get them?
You can get those on LinkedIn, definitely.
Okay. Then there's guru.com. I don't know if you know it. Is guru.com an accredited site?
Yeah, it's accredited.
Oh, okay, fine, yeah. And then there's Indeed, probably the last one is Indeed.
Indeed, yes, I also use Indeed.
Oh, okay, fine, yeah.
It is also credible.
Yeah,
very credible.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so guys, just what you've said, follow. He's posted all the sites, links to his site. Kindly follow him, especially on LinkedIn. I see he does like 3-4 posts.
I'm very active on LinkedIn and Facebook. Very active on LinkedIn and Facebook.
Yes. He posts a lot of stuff on remote work that will just learn, and you can engage more from there. And also even on a personal level. Mr. Jai, actually, we didn't meet. I've never seen him. I'm also seeing him for the first time the way you're seeing him now. But he actually had agreed to my request to come and share with you people. Yeah. So, Mr. Jai, thank you very much. Thank you very much for honoring our invite. And we're looking forward to having you share more and more of this. And at least right now, if I come to Nigeria, I know where I can start from.
If you come to Nigeria, call me. I will host
exactly.
you.
I will. I'll plan to do that.
Any Kenyan on this call coming to Nigeria, reach out to me. I'm going to welcome you.